Right. All right, and welcome to Two Therapists and a Microphone. I am Dr. Harrison Davis. You're muted, Aisha.
You know what? And are we doing enough of that now after the pandemic, all this Zoom and streaming? But I'm Dr.
Absolutely.
Aisha Dickerson. Thank you.
Yes, and welcome to the show. This is a show about mental health, relationships, and social issues that personally affect you. We air live every Thursday evening at 7:30 p.m.
We are two licensed psychotherapists with decades of clinical experience, and we want to hear from you. We want to hear about situations or dilemmas that you're going through, and especially today, we want to hear about your relationship issues, especially from the women.
Absolutely. So last week we had a wonderful show. We talked about healthy relationships in the season of Valentine's, and we focused on the women. And we had two very good guests on to talk about relationships from a woman's perspective. Well, today we're going to focus on the guys, and we're going to talk about what is it like for the guys, the brothers, in healthy relationships. So Dr. Dickerson invited one of her friends, colleagues, to the show. Tell us about her.
Okay, so I asked Mr. Kelvin Troy Johnson to come talk to us today because I actually like watching his videos. And Kelvin Troy Johnson is a dating and relationship coach and the author and creator of Love Coach Atlanta. His specialty is in helping successful, single, centered women understand and find successful men for dating, relationships, and love so that they can find the highest quality partner possible and live a happy, fulfilling life in love. Whew, sorry, that was a whole lot of words. So, with almost 200,000 followers on TikTok,
All
Kelvin drops
right.
the secrets of how men think when it comes to dating and love, and that's why I'm always listening to him. He graduated with a bachelor's degree in psychology from Norfolk, woo, Lord, State University.
Norfolk.
There we go.
Nah.
And in addition to all of that, he spent 17 as a male counselor and coach, helping men to discover their purpose, power, and potential. With thousands of sessions done, he now shares concepts, ideas, rationale, and secrets of why men do what they do in relationships. So he has a weekly broadcast on his YouTube channel called Secrets of the Mind of a Man, and he's releasing the much anticipated book with the same name later this year. Welcome, Kelvin Troy Johnson.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank
Welcome
you.
to the show. So you only focused on the women on your show? You only give advice to the women?
What I heard was that you worked with men, and so now you're sharing the secrets with the women. Like, here's
That's
all the
correct.
all the broken men I worked with. Let me tell you.
Yes, and I
Yeah.
still work with men. I still work with men, but yes, the women. I actually got into it by that way.
Hmm.
Women kept coming to me saying, "Look, I hear
Hmm.
you saying all this stuff, talking to the men. You talk to these men all day. Tell
Hmm.
me what's wrong with this guy."
Hmm.
Tell me, does he love me? Does he want me? Is he playing me? Like, so I just started talking, and here we are.
Yeah, we talked about some of that last week
Okay.
on last week's show. So tonight, I just want to open up, Kelvin and Aisha and I. We also see clients, So and
Yes.
and I think about 80% of my clientele are guys, mostly black guys, and there are two different groups of guys who I see. They're the ones who are 28 to 33 years old, and they need
Mm-hmm.
like a little guidance. Not
Mm-hmm.
necessarily psychotherapy, but just to figure
Mm-hmm.
things out. And then
Mm-hmm.
there are the brothers over 40. They tend to be married or divorced, and they're
Mm-hmm.
trying to navigate a whole lot of stuff, even some things from their past. And so as I talk to them, I've noticed some issues keep popping up. What
Mm.
are you seeing with the brothers out there as far as relationships, and how are they handling relationships and the quality of those relationships? Let's just start there. What are you seeing? And I'll tell you what I see.
Yeah, one of the things that I'm seeing outside of the impact of the pandemic,
Okay.
right? Because we can't skip over that.
Right.
That there is an impact as far as the pandemic goes in relationships. People have gone one of two ways: either the pandemic brought them together, or
Mm.
drove them in opposite directions.
Yeah.
They realized, wait a minute, I this is not even the right person.
They were stuck in each other's face for
And
too
I'm
long.
stuck with you.
Yep.
No, you know,
And no way
and,
out.
yes. And some people did get out, but I think what I'm also seeing now is I think that's kind of settling down a little bit. It was like, because I think the pandemic brought out all of our survival instincts, you know, like, because if you didn't know if you was going to wake up tomorrow, you know, all of a sudden now, like all the serious questions of what is life and why am I with you doing it? You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So after things kind of like calm down a bit, I think I'm seeing more men just kind of just seeing what this is and not being in such a panic to go in the opposite direction. So
Gotcha. So I'm actually, I saw some of that throughout the pandemic. But one of the things that I'm noticing, coping skills with the guys, maturity level with the guys, and the pandemic really amplified some issues that were already there. And perhaps they didn't pay attention to it, but they couldn't escape the way you described it. But the reaction to it and how they cope with it and things that they turn to really surprised me in trying to figure out what's the next level, you know. So I want to make sure before we end tonight's show, I want to hear your thoughts about the emotional maturity of Black men in particular compared to Black women, because there seems to be a gap.
And that's who I see. This early to mid 30s on up to almost 50, who, you know, I've been sometimes been with the same person for 10 years. Whew, not me, but you know, that's what we what we see. And just obsession with trying to fix broken men who are broken in many different ways. Some of them are shattered, some of them are, you know, melting, whatever it is. So a lot of broken men getting into women's lives and breaking them as well. So let me say, dating Black men is dangerous. I said it.
But what do you mean by broken men? What's
It's dangerous.
So you choosing war tonight?
You know, let's just go ahead and jump right in.
Yeah, that's Aisha. I know Aisha. She gonna take a gangster stance. But I do see the men who I believe can fit into that category. You know, the maturity level is not where it should be, and they make unhealthy decisions, and sometimes aren't ready to deal with the consequences. Of some
That's
of
a
those.
much better way of saying it. Yeah,
Is it than someone broken? Yeah, so some of these guys just don't know how to lead. They don't.
Well, listen, Dr. Harrison.
But they're obsessed with it.
Well, listen, this is something though that we also can't gloss over. That I don't think I've ever experienced a time where there was more men actually talking about the role of manhood.
Gotcha.
And the roles, you know, the things of how to actually be a man, how to function in society, why we have functioned the way we have, right? For many of us, and look, and I'm doing this work, and I'm learning like that. A lot of our path on and what we know about emotions and connection and that's what we call love. It actually comes like from a feminine perspective, right? And men are a lot of men. I'm seeing a lot of men are kind of like awakening to this idea of, wait a minute, the thing that you call love is different from what I feel what love is. And what you're talking about came from Disney. What you're talking about came from the Hallmark Channel,
the Disney fantasy.
Right. And what I'm talking about comes from me feeling respected, me feeling you know, like
important.
I'm important, in charge, like in being even allowed to be put in a position to lead. You know, I'm telling you, I'm seeing a lot of that. Men just really coming to the realization, like, wait a minute. And to me, look, I was thinking about this today. It's a lot of what your granddaddy already knew, right? because it was kind of like the way things were. It was like, you know, a man is expected to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and he just kind of went with that. But in this time, the women have really risen up.
They have.
And men lost their place and understanding where they actually fit in. And so for a long time, they kind of just laid back. But now I'm seeing men having more conversations about, you know, manhood and what it really means.
Well, and on, you know, along the lines of that, because, you know, I'm choosing war tonight. There are a lot of men who it seems like they want to lead, but don't want to take on granddaddy stance. Like, you know, you're not paying the bills, and, you know,
Well,
even if you aren't the breadwinner, you want to split. I pay for dinner one time and you pay for dinner one time, but you need to let me lead. What? Pick one or the other.
But Kevin, you just mentioned that about, you know, the grandfathers grew up in a time where there was a blueprint, you know, there was a plan, and this is what the men do, this is what the women do. It was rigid, you know, but there was a plan. But right now, what if the granddad and the dad were not there, and then no one guided them? That's actually what I'm seeing. Or it was an inadequate example of someone being a father or husband to their mom, you know. And now, like Dr. Dickerson just mentioned, they want to lead, but they actually never saw it. They saw mom lead. They saw mom take charge. They saw mom pull everything together. But some of these men, they haven't seen a father or grandfather pull it together. So what do you say to some of those guys who are really like throwing darts in the dark?
Yeah, you want to lead, but you have no leadership skills.
Yeah.
The tools.
Well, you know, the first thing you have to figure out that you got to come to the awareness first. Like the light switch got to come on first.
That something's wrong.
Yes. Wait a minute, something's wrong, and wait a minute, I can actually do something about it. Now, what we gonna do about it?
Yeah.
You know, so I think, you know, where look, I got to give it up to the ladies. Ladies, they can come to you know, these things pretty fast, right? Sometimes us for guys,
but they seek it out.
Yes, yeah, they seek it out. They go read in the books. They go to Bible study. They go to therapy. They go
women's conferences. Yeah,
women's conferences. You know, and they seek out these places where they can get what it is they need emotionally and to fulfill that. And so I think men are turning to places like YouTube and TikTok and hearing these conversations that they never heard, that they should have heard from dad and from granddad. And so they're hearing it. And some of them are going, they're taking that little piece and they're like making that their mantra, like I'm red pill. I'm men going their own way, and I
saw that.
You know, all these things, and you know, on my purpose, and like all the things. And for me, personally, I like it all. I don't agree with everybody's point, but I like men taking the time to choose a side and to do some self-reflecting on what their path has been, and now ready to get out there and take some kind of action based on what they've heard and learned.
Okay.
So,
okay. Go ahead.
So I just want to make sure we clear to the audience too, you know, as we're talking about Black men, you know, some of the things we're talking about, or men in general, I'm sorry, may not be very positive. There are certainly countless examples of brothers out there doing their thing, taking care of their family, successful not only with their career but also in life, and making good healthy decisions. It's just, as therapists, we see the ones who, as Dr. Dickerson mentioned, are broken and trying to make something happen, you know. But I too am seeing some of these YouTubers and other individuals out there, as I like to stay up late at night and watch all of them. But some of them are scary. These guys who are giving advice, you know, and they have no.
The guy who cheated on his wife. Who was it? The guy who was always. You remember what I'm talking about? He's real attractive.
I ain't calling him like
that. What's his name?
I don't know his name, but I know.
And
then
everybody started to talk about that his wife was looking homely and stuff. Y'all remember that?
I'm just gonna say his first name is Derek.
Yes, that's his
Okay.
name. That one.
Yeah.
So he was the main one sitting in his car telling everybody, women need to do this and men do that, and men need to be faithful and all of that and be a good man. And then you cheating on your wife.
Yeah, some of them are selling something because I don't know how you go from being a personal trainer for physical fitness to a life coach, or how you go from
Most
an
of 'em.
image consultant in a
Yes.
retail clothing store
Yes.
to a life coach relationships, whereas all three of us are trained,
Yeah.
to
And they
do
just have
things like that.
opinions. They just, have opinions.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
like you said, Kelvin, men are having those discussions.
Yes.
And
yes.
I may
love
not agree with what I hear, but I'm glad they're having those discussions.
I am too. I'm so glad to hear it. And all the people that you just named, the people who have these platforms, I don't kick down any of them, right? Because for one thing, I'm a content creator myself, and I know how hard it is to create content, right?
Yeah, we're trying to do the same.
Yes, exactly. We all content creators, and they have found a niche, found a space that that people are interested in hearing the perspective on. And as long as people are talking, people can possibly be learning. So I like that.
As long as people are talking, they can possibly be learned. Okay, I got this. Like you throw spaghetti on the wall and some of it is thick, like that.
Well, look, everybody's coming at that spaghetti from a different angle.
Okay.
You're familiar with the Rorschach?
I am.
The Rorschach test. Everybody's seeing it differently. One looked like a butterfly, and the other one looked like I don't know what.
A body.
A body, right? One's a butterfly, one's a body.
Right.
What I see. But tell me, I want to ask some serious questions now. What
wait, before you ask some serious questions, I want
to
ask some not serious questions.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. Should a woman pay for meals when dating?
Should a woman pay for meals?
Yes.
I think at some point in time, I actually listen to this. I put this up on.
And what's that point in time?
On my TikTok. And at some point in time, I think a woman should kick in on something. Like,
how many times can she eat before she's supposed to pay? Give me a number.
Well, it depends on the guy.
Okay.
It depends on the guy. I do think that a man should pay for some dates. But I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman who wants to also treat the man in her life and want to give the valet guy a tip. I mean, like your money spent too. So like, I think, in the beginning stages, for one thing, look, to me, Dr. Aisha, this is actually, that question's actually bigger than just paying for dinner.
Yes,
okay.
I agree.
Right. It's my thought that the man should control everything in that dating.
If I had some pearls, I'd clutch them.
Ooh, I just saw Aisha's face.
Control everything. Look. Once she agrees on the time, look. I tell you what.
For the date.
Okay, I'm with you then. Yeah, don't keep asking me where I want to eat. And
right, exactly.
I'm with you there. Make some decisions.
Exactly.
I heard.
I'm sending you a car.
Yeah.
The car is going to come down. I'm going to meet you at at STK on Peachtree Street. The car. I'll be standing there at 7:30. That's about the time the car should pull up. I have a table available, waiting for us, and you have nothing to worry about. Come on, you with me. And once you with me, you with me.
Yes. I've heard this complaint
that.
from a couple of female clients, and what you just said, Kelvin, is exactly what they described. You put together the date. You coordinate the date, like you said, Aisha. Don't keep asking me where do you want to go.
I said I'm available on Friday at 8.
And then after dinner, what do you want to do now? And so that's a turn off. But I hear you. I like that idea. If you want to be in charge, be in charge.
Yes, from the door.
Set the whole thing up. Meet them up. Have a backup plan. Know what you gonna do. Because ultimately, what that does, if they fail to do that, is put the woman in a position to start making decisions
Yeah.
when she really wanted her dude to make some of these decisions.
Yes.
So I have seen
I
that
got
too.
wait to. My pearls are unclutched. I'm in agreement with
But when
you.
you said it, I thought you meant for overall general.
No.
Okay, but you mean for the date. I agree with
For
that.
the date,
That
for
word
the
control
date,
was a trigger for me. I started.
But at the same time, to go back to your question, Aisha, about paying for food, I think it comes down to expectations. And there is a time where the woman, we talk about heterosexual relationships, where
Mhm.
the woman may want to treat her guy. You
Mhm.
know, you may want to do something special for him. You know, it may sometimes look like taking him to a Hawks game, you know, or getting him ticket, and that's the date that she paid for and she planned. But the problem is when the dude springs it up on her, you know, without any warning, when he was supposed to be paying for everything. That was the expectation.
And then
And
all of a
he-
sudden it's why don't you ever pay? And like, what? This is
yeah,
date
yeah,
number
that's the
4.
problem. That's the problem there, that they didn't plan it, and it needs to be a decision. And she felt pressured. You know, well, if I don't pay, then what's going to happen? So the whole mood changes.
Yeah, it ruins it. Cold
That's a-
water.
That's a mistake, right there.
Yeah.
You experienced that, Isha?
Unfortunately, it's like it's a thing. It's what men think that after they pay for maybe 3 days, even if it was Starbucks, Panera Bread, and one real dinner date, that okay, well, the woman ought to at least pay for the next what? Like
Yeah.
you spent less than $100, well, maybe 200, less than $200.
Yeah.
And so
All right, at a minimum, let her offer. Don't bring it up.
yeah. I think that's what Kevin and I were talking about. When she wants to do it, she volunteers.
Make
Yeah.
yourself worthy of her paying, of her volunteering to take you somewhere, wanting to do something
Wait
nice
a minute.
for you. Be worthy.
you was doing good till you got to that worthy.
Be worthy.
A man's presence makes him worthy.
Oh no, that's just not true.
You are instantly the atmosphere instantly changes when a man shows up.
That's the way it should be.
When a man is in your presence, you are instantly safer than you were seconds before he got there. You are instantly
that's
covered.
A hope.
Yeah, you are covered by
That's a
pretty
goal.
much hurt, harm, danger, all of it in that 1 second of that man showing up.
Yeah,
Okay?
I don't hear that from my female clients who are dating.
Yeah, I was
don't
like,
hear that.
that's the hope, not necessarily the
That's
reality.
aspirational.
Yeah, I was like, that sounded real good.
Yeah. Well, but that's the thing that I'm talking about with people is that you take certain things for granted. These women take that for granted that it's just he didn't do anything. He just opened the door for me. I think you should the whole positive reinforcement, like if you want it, whatever it is you want to see, reward the behavior, right? If you want to see him be more of a giver, more of a guy who takes charge, takes care of, right? You mention that, notice it, and make mention of it, right? Like so that he sees, oh wow, she appreciates me, and that's something that many men don't get.
Yeah,
They
I agree with that.
They don't
part.
feel appreciated on these things.
So
Well,
go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, guys. I'm gonna let Harrison ask these deep questions. But I saw that Robert said we're gonna have folks messed up on February the 14th. So
They already messed up, Robert.
Well,
they already
right.
messed up because we see them the 15th.
Right.
And a week later.
Here's my next, not necessarily deep question, but again, it could get deep. Should a woman buy a man a Valentine's present?
Yes,
Day present.
I can answer that before.
Why? It's not leap year.
If you want to buy your man a gift, what's wrong with that?
How long should you be dating them before you buy them a gift? Like,
now that's up to you. That's up to you.
okay. Because
That's
I mean,
yeah.
like, if you're going on 3 dates, again, I'm just gonna keep on using 3. Does that mean that? I mean, I'm not sure you even I'm militant. I'm not sure you should even expect a
She's a
Valentine's gift. But
gangster.
if I'm not sure I should expect one, what I look like giving you one?
Yeah.
Now I'm courting you.
Yeah. I think if you guys are an item,
Okay.
In a monogamous relationship.
exclusive, you guys are together, then that I would most men probably wouldn't even expect a
Right.
gift,
Yes.
but most men probably would end up with a gift if you're in a relationship.
In a year that's not a leap year.
That
Wasn't that the rule that you only buy your man the
I-
gift on
I don't
leap
know
year?
nothing about that.
No,
I hadn't heard that one.
that might be an
Yeah.
Alabama thing.
Must
Any
be.
other questions, Aisha?
No, I'll let Harrison ask deeper questions.
No, I like
I'll
your
stop.
questions. That first one was real good too. But Kelvin,
Hmm.
what does a healthy romantic relationship look like for a grown man?
Okay, so for men, right?
Yeah.
We are achievement oriented. You know, like for most of the boys that I grew up with, we raced to do everything.
Competed.
You know, me and my brothers, we raced to the front seat. I mean, we raced up. Last one get there is a rotten egg or whatever. You know, and so everything was competitive, and so I think somewhere along the lines we lost a piece of that. You know, we lost that desire to create and to design an experience. So I think for men, right? I mentioned earlier that I think a guy should take care of everything with the dating thing, right?
Mhm.
But I think men should also put down the fear of getting played, because there's a lot of guys who won't do certain things because they're like, she ain't gonna play me. Oh
Mhm.
no, she's
So
not
they
getting
don't
no
want to
3
be
dates out of me.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
You
They don't
know,
want to be vulnerable.
they don't want to be vulnerable. They don't want to be taken advantage of. One of the big things is that men don't want to be tricked. That's why a lot of guys are avoiding relationships altogether, because
When you
they
say
saw
tricked,
they saw their big brother or their uncle or
Ah.
their daddy, or
Yep.
they got tricked. You know, she showed up as one thing, and after she said I do, she said I don't, and things went that way. So that's a thing. But healthy relationships, I think, it just requires the time and the recognition that, wait a minute, I can have a healthy relationship. I can communicate. I can create what it is that I want. This is the thing I'm having a conversation with the guys about. Like, you can have whatever you want. You can have whatever you want when it comes to the selection. We say, Dr. Aisha, we say the ladies are the prize, right? When they ask me
In
that,
Atlanta with all these thirsty women. I mean, not necessarily.
when they say the women are the prize, I say, you know what? Yes, let the ladies, you are the prize, but guess who gets to be the picker of the prize? And to me, that's a better position to be in, because you get to choose what it is you want and who this lady's going to be in your life. How's she going to add value in your life? So this is Dr. Harrison, this is a conversation that I don't think was going on that much, in further years. People kind of like floated along and did what society said do, and
I agree with that.
And do what the church said do what the community says do. But I think now men are having that conversation like, well, wait a minute, you know what? Uncle Joe got tricked because he didn't have any sexual discipline. Men are waking up to the fact that, wait a minute, you know what? If I can push off from the panties, then I actually have the advantage, and I don't get tricked. So I know a lot of men who got tricked, and their mind was, the mind was in the panties, and next thing they knew, they woke up and they had made a lifelong decision, a real life decision, with a temporary feeling.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
So you said that some of the guys, it's all what can happen, with the older men in their lives,
Yes.
uncle, grandfather, neighbor, older brother, mom's friend, and saw how they were used, taken advantage of, or saw that they were trapped in something that was undesirable, and that a lot of these guys are making a decision not to go that route.
True.
But they still want some of the benefits of having a woman or two in their life.
True.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes,
and so out of that, cultivating a healthy relationship doesn't sound like it's a top priority.
I think for some men, it depends on his age.
Okay.
Gotcha.
It depends on his age.
So at what age do they turn into better men?
Turn into better men.
Give me a specific number, please.
Specific number. Well, I don't have a specific number, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at least over 30.
Okay.
Men start.
I agree with that.
Yeah, men start that around that 31, 32. Men start considering their way and considering the women that have been in their lives and what they really want. Right.
Yeah. I joked with one client, it should be against the law for anybody under 25 to get married because they don't know what they're doing. You really don't know who you're marrying. They're not done developing. They still want to experience life. I get it. You in love and everything, but the marriage and at 22, may be challenging for a lot of people. But I just wanted to hear your thoughts about that.
But look, then again, Dr. Harrison, the boys sign up for the military at 18.
Okay.
And if you can go off and fight for your country and put your life in jeopardy,
Yeah, and drive and buy alcohol. I get it.
Sometimes marrying certain women is putting your life in jeopardy too. If you're planning on not being a good man. So.
Ooh, I heard a code in there.
Put your life in jeopardy.
It got chilly at the end.
All right, so Kelvin, we're running out of time, but the last question I want to ask is, I know, right? There's never enough time to ask all the questions I want to ask, but because I love your top fives, top threes. I'm going to ask you for three. Okay, we got more. I want to ask
you 5.
5. Okay, let's give me 5. 5 things. 5 things that you think that women can be doing to be better partners based on what you've seen.
Oh, I love this question. It's a great question. So
thank you.
Yeah. Here's some things that I'm observing that I think could really put a woman kind of on top. Now, I say on top because in general, when we talk about single men, most single men have women in their lives. I call them helicopter women.
It's like the mom, because to me, a lot of these little broken baby birds, when you were talking about, that they're used to being tricked, is because they've been being tricked by their mamas all their lives.
Well, that's a whole different thing.
Okay.
That's a whole different thing.
That's another show.
But most single men have women in their lives. Now, I'm not saying that they sleeping with all these women.
Are you saying like this female best friend over on the side is waiting for you to realize that she's the love of your life?
Yeah, got a female best friend waiting for benefits. Yeah, right. Sometimes that happens.
And college friends who are still around, and the co-workers who he likes to hang out with. I have those clients. Yeah,
right.
These undefined relationships.
Yes, correct. Yeah. And so the question is like, how does that guy choose this woman, maybe the woman who's listening to this, above all the other women? Because that's we want the women to win who show up here. Okay.
So they're all circling around, and how can they be the one that he pulls out of the pool of thirst that's circling around?
Well, one of the things is, if we're talking about good quality men, the kind of man that you actually want, like that that upper 10% that we always talk about. That all the
somebody
women
with a career and a good credit score.
yeah,
And, you know,
yeah, him, right?
minimal baby mama drama.
Yeah.
Minimal baby mama drama.
Yeah, he got his stuff under control. He got things under
Keeps
control.
his child support paid.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And he doesn't need you for anything.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So that woman that can rise to the top is a woman who looks at that guy and kind of sees something that he doesn't see. Right. And she's adding value to his life. She might, I don't know what is he into? If he's into, computers, right? He's into computers. The computers is his passion. He loves computers. He wants to open a computer store that, that repairs computers. He could just do it all day. Yeah. She might say, you know what? I saw a location at a great spot that would be great for your computer. I just made a call for you, or here's the information. Here's the number. I wrote it down. I was going by. I wrote the number down here. Right. Right then, she just added value to his life, and she tied herself to his passion. Some people call these tricks, right? I say, if it works, do it. Because if it works, do it. Because love is a game, and some people winning and some people losing.
But Kevin, let me ask a quick question about that, because I heard that, but are you concerned that that the woman is not putting herself in a position always helping him out with things? I get it. There's a connection there with something with computers, so they like it a lot. That can keep them engaged with each other. But, and then she's trying to let him know what I'm willing to do for you to help you with your passion. So it's just when you mention that, are we not concerned that she's setting herself up to stay in that position for the rest of that relationship, where she's always helping him out, showing him how to do things?
Well, I think that's kind of the cart before the horse.
Okay.
I think she can measure and decide, because usually a guy who's passionate about whatever he's passionate about, like she's not gonna be able to teach him nothing, about the thing that he's passionate about.
I got you.
But her willingness to observe him and see what can make him better. I don't know one guy who doesn't want to be better and want to have a partner in his life who makes him better.
I got you.
If not, what's the point of her being there? You understand? Like what she if she's here, she has to have a purpose for being here, and her purpose has to be to raise my life up, to help me to see something that I didn't see, have an experience maybe that I wouldn't have had otherwise. That's what we call adding value.
But is there such thing as helping too much? Like, should she?
Because that's the complaint I hear.
And right, I invested my money.
Nothing. Yeah, he can't do nothing. I had to do this. I had to do that.
I want a return on my investment.
And see, this is what I hear. So that's why I brought it up. But I hear you. You got to establish a connection. There's a bond there, something that you can talk about and engage in. I hear that. And then she offers some type of assistance, for him to reach his goal. It's just, I'm perceiving that 10% guy who you two just described, he knows how to get it. He may want to balance, when he's not at work, when he's not grinding, to come home and someone to help him to relax.
Yes.
That's what I've heard from some of the brothers. But the guys that you two just talked about, they know how to get it. Or they know how to find out how to get it. But then there are the ones who have no clue what they want to do.
Right.
And then somebody comes along to save them. And that's my clients.
Yeah.
But what's the other four? I'm sorry to interrupt.
All right. So the question was around how can a woman kind of stand out? Was that?
Yes. How can she be a good candidate for the 10%er and not for the bum?
Okay. Somebody ain't gonna like this.
Is it gonna be me? You about to say something I don't like,
anyway.
Kel? Let's go for it.
There's three things that that man that we're talking about is looking for.
Okay.
A woman that's fit, feminine, and fun. Now,
okay.
Now, look, because we said we're gonna tell the truth tonight, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Sometimes you can throw out fit.
You know, I'm not talking about you got to look like a stick figure,
I
right?
got you.
But as fit as you can,
Mhm.
because when the guy is out on the town and he's checking out the ladies, you know, the fit chicks go first. That's just, they get the attention first, and you know, I did about to snap on y'all. Look,
I mean, I'm with you. I'm
yes.
not disagreeing there. I work
Fit,
out plenty, so I want to
and
stay.
you know what?
Not for a man, I want to stay alive. But I'm
No,
with you.
and that's important that you are doing it for you. It's
Mhm.
not
Yeah.
it's not necessarily for him. It shows how much you care about you. So why should I care about you if
Mm.
you don't care about you?
That's a great point. That's a wonderful point.
Okay. So feminine, right?
Well, what's
There-
feminine? I mean, you talking
feminine
about looking
is
feminine, or you wanted to be meek and mild and
um
submissive?
Meek and mild isn't necessarily feminine.
no, it's not. Feminine meaning resting in your femininity and being able to ready to receive, right? Women are literally biologically created to receive, right? And then give. You receive first and then you give. And so I think I see so many women who get in these arguments and trying to tell men what no. And this man, and you should see it on my TikTok. They'll be like, oh, I did all that and he still cheated. Or I did all that and he still
But
left
I
me.
mean, that's a lot of people's reality.
Yeah,
You can give your all, and if he's gonna be a hoe, he's gonna be a hoe.
But I'm telling you this, your negative attitude gets you what? Right?
Sometimes the same thing your positive attitude would have got you.
So if I could just add to that, because I've heard that notion before about feminine women, and I noticed for the first time just started to think about it and noticing that in people who I just talked to and engaged with. And I must admit, I had a few conversations with women who looked like women, who were attractive women, but yet I felt like I was talking to a dude, and they weren't yelling. It was this energy
Mhm,
that I got, and how they were engaging me a
mhm,
lot like a guy would. I didn't criticize it or anything. I just thought I was a little taken back the first time I
mhm,
decided to notice it. And then I was like, this is what they're talking about. Because I hear you talking about those concrete characteristics,
mhm.
but I must admit, talking to they're women, look like women, talk like women, sound like women, but when they were engaging me, they were like a little aggressive,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and stance
Mhm,
towards me,
mhm.
almost like a masculine.
They were about to fight you. Were they gonna fight you?
No, they wanted to make sure they made their point.
Okay.
And you know me, I can circle back around
Mhm.
and bring the topic back up, but they weren't going to have it. So I hear you with that, and I remember what it felt like, because it was a little bit confusing. Like, I'm not trying to attack you, but you are attacking me
Yeah.
with this
Yeah.
aggressive energy that some people
Yes.
describe as masculine.
Yes. And some of that comes from hurt. Some of that comes from pain. It comes from
And
struggle.
necessity. Yep.
Yeah, out of necessity. And you listen, I almost think, and once upon a time, mamas and grandmas used to teach their girls how to be women and how to be feminine, and I think that is missing in our ladies today.
Okay. So tell us the rest of it, the rest of the list.
All right, I guess I got to hurry up.
Yeah, I got to sit back and listen to the rest of this.
Yeah. So another thing that brings a woman up to the front. I talked about fun, right?
Mhm.
Like, yes, the guy's in charge of taking you out to dinner, but how can you make it fun, right? How can you position yourself as somebody that he looks forward to being.
Enjoy it.
He enjoys your company. He enjoys, like, you're not just sitting there waiting for him to be entertaining to you, right?
Okay.
But you're bringing something to the party. What are you bringing to the party?
So are you saying, Kelvin, that the women should get off their cell phones while they're on the date?
And
Absolutely.
the man, everybody needs to get off their cell phone.
Okay, that's the complaint I've heard from the guys, that she was on her
Yes.
cell phone the whole time, and at one point had a conversation with somebody during the date.
Yeah,
That's just
you know what?
rude.
That is rude,
He should have just got up and left.
regardless of who it is.
I
That's
would.
rude.
Pay
That's
the
rude.
tab and be like, all right, this is over. we finished. And keep that standard. So
Cool.
That's
well, I like that. So my final question, and we're going to wrap up right after this. For the guys, what do you want the guys to do? What advice do you have for the guys to be that man that they were meant to be, to serve in the role that they want to serve in within these healthy romantic relationships?
yeah, for one thing, as I'm talking to the single guys, I want to tell you, be a lion, right? Stop waiting to be chosen by her. There's a lot of men who are waiting for choosing signals. They waiting for her to flip her hair and wink wink, all of that stuff.
I see.
A lion doesn't wait for a zebra to come lay down in front of them. Like they go after what they want.
Take an assertive role or stance.
Assertive roles. And I'm telling you that the assertive role teaches her what kind of man you are. So if you're standing in the corner, like, I'm not sure, I'm just staring at her, like you're going to do that in the relationship too. You're going to stand back and not get the raise that you're supposed to get. You're going to stand back and not get the quality of life you're going to get.
Yeah.
So you're showing her who you are from the very beginning.
A weak man is not sexy.
It's not. So I encourage the guys to go for what you want. Go for what. Listen, nobody's out of your league. So Dr. Aisha may disagree with me on that, but I'm telling you, nobody's out of your league.
I've seen it.
I do disagree with that. Sometimes I'm like, whoa, you looked over here and thought,
Yeah, but Aisha,
you thought that was a good idea.
But Aisha, you've seen those couples out there, maybe before the pandemic when we're all getting out and about. But you're like, damn, what is she doing with him?
I do, and I also state some reasons that I think,
So I agree with you. No one's out of your league because I have seen it.
Yes.
Ain't got nothing going on. Don't know how to make decisions. She's gorgeous. She looks good. She has a law degree, and you don't have 1 degree. Yeah, but she's taking care of you. I agree with that. To go after it. You never know what's going to happen.
You never know. So go all out. I'm encouraging guys to get creative too, right? Look, all the dates don't have to be down at SDK for $100, like for $200, right? I like dates at the park where you might have got there early and turned it into a scavenger hunt, and you have done something that prepares the moment, and so you have no idea what'll happen after that. So use your creativity, man.
Somebody asked the question on here, what kind of man?
You want to answer that in a couple of minutes?
Yeah, right quick. I like a man with good credit and can keep his bills paid. I don't mind men who have children as long as they keep their child support paid.
You want a responsible guy.
Right. There we go. And who doesn't have, like I said, minimal baby mama drama. At my age, I almost expect people to have children. I don't like men who are argumentative. I like for them to pick, the dates. Like you said, don't keep on asking me what I want to eat. And once you make up your mind, don't keep on changing it to somewhere else. I need you to follow through what you say you're going to do. And I don't have to talk to you every day, but I ought to at least get a text message, and it better not be what you do and good morning and good night. There you go.
Okay. All right. So all you guys interested, her contact information.
I'm not on the market, though. I'm not on the market. I'm asking for everybody else.
I apologize for that. So Kevin, tell the audience. Go ahead.
Look, but I was just gonna say, but she is a model for a certain kind of woman. So it may not be her, but there's a lot of women like her.
Absolutely.
And, if you follow that instruction, you'll do good.
So, Kevin, tell us, how can the audience find or contact you?
Yes. So you guys can reach out to me. I've got something cooking. I have something I call the Love Coach Zoom Room. LoveCoachZoomRoom.com is where you find it. I'm opening it up. It's kind of a group coaching session. I'm doing it on Saturdays at 12:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I'm allowing people to come on, ask the questions that you want. No question is off limits. You come on in and ask a question. If you want further strategy, that's not the place to get it, right? That's the place to get your question answered. Now, if you want to figure out how to do what to do, then you got to book a session with me, and you can do that at lovecoachatlanta@gmail.com. So I'm everywhere at Kelvin Troy Johnson everywhere, Love Coach Atlanta everywhere, and I'd love for you guys to reach out if you need me.
Gotcha. So thank you, Kelvin, for joining us on the show. This was entertaining. It was good. I laughed during the show. So thank you. We got to have him back, Aisha.
Yeah, we'll have him back. If he'll
on
come
the show.
back.
Thank you for having me, you guys. I'll come back anytime.
Gotcha.
Well, thank you all for listening. You can
Mhm.
always find us at twotherapist.com. That's TWO therapist with an S.com, or find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at T2TM. There we go. The number 2TM show.
All right, guys. Thank you. And we will see you next Thursday, 7:30 p.m. Have a good one.
Like this.